Oh, honey, the legal circus just got its clown car towed. Alina Habba's sham appointment crumbles on December 2, 2025. Listen up, darlings, because if you thought the drama in this country's halls of so-called justice couldn't get any more ridiculous, buckle in. It's about to swerve right into a ditch of pure, unadulterated incompetence and backroom scheming that even I, with all my years of spilling the unvarnished truth, couldn't have scripted better if I'd tried. Picture this. It's a crisp December morning here on the 2nd of the month, 2025, and I'm sipping my coffee, scrolling through the feeds when bam, CNN slams on the brakes for what they love to call breaking news. But let's be real. It's just another episode in the endless reality show where the orange tyrant's inner circle treats the law like it's their personal plaything, bending it until it snaps like a cheap glow stick at a bad party. And the star of this fiasco, none other than Alina Habba, that wide-eyed loyalist who went from defending the orange tyrant in his parade of courtroom clown shows to somehow landing the gig as the top federal prosecutor in New Jersey. Until today, when a federal appeals court basically grabbed her by the collar, yanked her out of that chair and said, "Sweetie, this seat isn't yours. You never even had the keys to the kingdom." Oh, the irony. It's thicker than the fog rolling off the Hudson on a humid summer night and twice as suffocating. You see, back in March, the orange tyrant, in one of his classic moves to stack the deck with yes people who wouldn't know prosecutorial ethics if it bit them on the behind, slapped Habba into the interim U.S. attorney spot for New Jersey like she was auditioning for a role in his next campaign ad. Interim, mind you, that's code for temporary, like a bad haircut you hope grows out fast. The law's crystal clear on this. You've got 120 days to strut around like you own the place, unless the Senate gives you a thumbs up or the district judges decide you're not a total disaster and extend the gig. But Habba, Senate confirmation, please. Those New Jersey senators, Cory Booker and Andy Kim, took one look at her resume, which reads more like a fan fiction tribute to the orange tyrant than a prosecutor's playbook, and invoked that old blue slip tradition faster than you can say conflict of interest. No hearing, no vote, just a polite but firm not on our watch. So what does the administration do? They don't slink away with their tails between their legs. No, that would require a shred of self-awareness. Instead, they pull off this absurd shell game, a novel series of legal and personnel moves. As one judge so delicately put it, that makes you wonder if they're running the Justice Department or a three-card Monty hustle on the boardwalk. Let me break it down for you, because honestly, if I don't, you'll think I'm making this up, and trust me, reality's twisted enough without my embellishments. Habba's clock ticks down to 0 in July, right? The district court judges in New Jersey, those folks who actually know a thing or two about federal law without Googling it first, look at each other and go, "Okay, time's up. Let's put in her deputy, Desiree Grace, a career prosecutor who's probably forgotten more about ethics than Habba's learned in a lifetime." Solid choice, logical, by the book. But oh no, the orange tyrant's crew can't have that. Attorney General Pam Bondi, remember her, the Florida firebrand who looks like she could sell you a timeshare in hell, steps in and fires Grace on the spot like she's swatting a fly at a picnic. Then, in a move so convoluted it deserves its own flowchart, they have Habba resign her interim post, appoint her as some vague special attorney to the Attorney General. With all the powers of the big chair, and boom, back she goes as first assistant, which magically lets her slide into the acting U.S. attorney role under the Federal Vacancies Reform Act. It's like watching a kid cheat at Monopoly by inventing new rules mid-game. Oh, this hotel. Yeah, it's also a battleship now, so pay up. The sheer audacity. I mean, come on, if this is how they handle vacancies, what's next? Declaring the Oval Office a timeshare and renting it out to the highest bidder. And here's where it gets deliciously, karmically poetic, because 3 sharp-eyed defendants, guys facing charges in New Jersey federal court, probably thinking, wait, is this prosecutor even legit? Decide they've had enough of the smoke and mirrors and file a motion to toss their indictments like yesterday's takeout. They argue, quite rightly, that Habba's been playing dress-up in a job she never earned, violating every statute from here to Sunday, and boom, U.S. District Judge Matthew Brann, that no-nonsense voice of reason from the Middle District of Pennsylvania, agrees in August. He calls it out for what it is: unlawful, a blatant end run around the Constitution's appointment clause and Senate confirmation process, all to keep a loyalist in power indefinitely. This isn't governance, he essentially says in his ruling, it's a coup in khakis. But the administration, ever the sore losers, appeals to the Third Circuit, dragging Habba herself into oral arguments on October 20th, where the judges, Michael Fisher, Kent Jordan, and D. Brooks Smith, grill the DOJ lawyers like they're on a hot seat at a deposition barbecue. Over an hour of skepticism, questions flying faster than confetti at a failed parade. How exactly does this delegation theory of yours not just obliterate the entire checks and balances system we've been pretending to respect since 1789? And the government's response: a weak-kneed statute twist that the panel dismantles in a unanimous 32-page smackdown yesterday, affirming Brann's order and disqualifying Habba faster than you can say objection sustained. Ha! Can you imagine the steam coming out of those administration ears right now? The orange tyrant, probably pacing Mar-a-Lago, muttering about rigged courts and deep state judges, while his handlers scramble to spin this as some minor hiccup instead of the full-blown embarrassment it is. Because let's face it, this isn't just about one unqualified lawyer getting the boot. It's a body blow to the whole scheme they've been running nationwide, trying to parachute Trump sycophants into U.S. attorney offices from California to Nevada, upstate New York, you name it, all without so much as a courtesy nod to the Senate. Last week alone, a district court tossed indictments against James Kamai and Letitia James because another interim hack, Lindsay Halligan, was deemed unlawfully installed in Virginia. It's like dominoes, folks. One falls and suddenly the whole tower of Jenga block justice comes crashing down, revealing the hollow core beneath. And Habba. Poor thing's got zero prosecutorial experience before this. She was the orange tyrant's courtroom cheerleader, the one who filed those laughable motions in his New York defamation debacle where a jury slapped him with liability like it was an overdue library fine. Now, her every signature since July. Potentially void, cases she touched. Up in the air, defendants cheering, career prosecutors breathing sighs of relief that maybe, just maybe, the grown-ups can take the wheel again. Oh, but don't get me wrong, this isn't some feel-good underdog story. It's a glaring neon sign flashing. Accountability in a system that's been gaslit into thinking loyalty trumps law every time. The appeals court didn't mince words. The current administration has been frustrated by legal and political barriers to getting its appointees in place, they wrote. Yet the citizens of New Jersey and the loyal employees in the U.S. Attorney's Office deserve some clarity and stability. Translation: stop the circus, clowns. We're trying to run a country here, and the fallout. The Justice Department could beg for an en banc rehearing or sprint straight to the Supreme Court, where who knows? Maybe the conservative supermajority gives them a lifeline, or maybe even they draw the line at this level of chicanery. But mark my words, this ruling's got teeth. It's the first appellate smackdown on these shenanigans, and defense lawyers from coast to coast are already sharpening their pencils, ready to challenge every bootleg prosecutor the orange tyrant foists on us. It's chaos, sure, but the good kind, the kind that exposes the rot and forces a reckoning. You know, I've said it before and I'll yell it from the rooftops again. This isn't about politics. It's about preserving the bones of democracy from being picked clean by opportunists who think power's a birthright. The orange tyrant and his merry band of enablers keep pushing these envelopes until they burst, and every time the courts, bless their deliberative souls, remind us that no one's above the rules, not even if you've got a cult chanting your name. Ha ha ha. Imagine the MAGA meltdown forums lighting up right now, keyboards smoking as they cry, "Witch hunt," while the rest of us sane folks pop the popcorn and watch the show. It's almost enough to make you laugh out loud if it weren't so damn infuriating how far we've let this farce go. MAGA, please note, I was not talking to you and I do not need permission to speak up. And God, do I fearlessly speak my mind. I just want to thank you all, like, share, and follow to stay connected. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Crowning Thoughts True Speaker Copyright 2025 by Santiago DC Maria is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share, alike 4.0 International.